Hey, y'all. Welcome back to From the Holler. If you're new around here, my name is Missy. And on this channel, we are dedicated to loving and supporting each other through our loved ones' addictions. And we got a lot to talk about tonight, okay? We got to try to get it all in. The power has been off all afternoon. It came back on just about an hour or so ago. It may go off again. I don't know. Okay? So I want to get everything said that I want to say. And then that way, y'all have it, okay? Oh, I didn't turn my notifications off. Hold on. One moment, please. Okay. Hey, Miss Charlotte. Hey, Ashley. Hey, CF. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, if you did not, if I don't remember if I saw you on the last chat that we did, but I want to thank you. I got your card. I finally went to the post office, made it there, and your card was in there, and it tickled everybody. And I just want to say thank you. Paps especially wanted me to let you know that he said thank you. He said that was really sweet of you, and that you didn't have to do that, and but he appreciated it. So thank you so much. It was great. So we're going to jump right into it. If you saw the title of the video tonight, the chat tonight, is a system fair to addicts? Well, let's talk about that. In the community post that I put out this morning, it talks about, wait a minute, I'll tell you, because y'all know, okay? Girl, it's been a while since I've been down there, so, okay. It says seeing an ex-drug dealer working a legit job, if they can find one. Okay? Seeing an ex-addict reconnect with the children they abandoned, seeing people change their lives and hold their heads up high, that's powerful. Recovery is beautiful, and it certainly is. But let's talk about them holding down a job. Okay? So I'm going to put this out there, and I want to preface this by saying I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion condoning addiction. Okay? I am not. So do not go there. My question to everybody watching is, should addicts be treated and have the same consequences as, let's say, a murder? I mean, a felon's a felon, right? A felon's a felon. And at any given time, any of the addicts that we all know and love, they can become a felon. Okay? They're going to do what they have to do in order to get what they've got to get through, right? We've all dealt with that. I mean, I have no jewelry. Okay? There's a whole lot of stuff missing from my house. Well, years ago, you know. So, should they pay the same consequences? Because when they finally seek recovery and they get to where they are standing on their own 2 feet and doing the things that they need to do and straightening their lives out and all that, and finding a job, if they've got that title after their name, okay, can they find it? Can they find a decent job to support their family, the children that they went back and picked up the relationship with and all that? What are your thoughts on this? Is the system failing? Now, let's remember that it was our own government that was out here, out and about, distributing, Okay, years ago, I'm not talking about anything recent, hopefully. Hopefully, that mentality's gone, but who knows? But years ago, the one of the ABC systems, um, they were out here distributing, making deals, and doing all the things. Okay, yeah, Cindy, you're right. I'm just using that as an example. Okay, um, just absolutely using that as an example. Um, no, their offenses aren't violent. I'm trying to think of another. I mean, I could say thief, but most of them turn into that. Okay. Um, on the scale. Okay. Golly bum, why is it so hard to? Yeah, my words are just not coming to me. Um, not at all. Yeah, I had this all planned out. I really did. I'm gonna have to start making me a script. Apparently, okay, or apparently I am. Um, my big thing is, I mean, even if they get drug charges, okay, those follow them around pretty much for life. Yeah, for life, okay, and these people, these employers, they see drug charges, they instantly back off. It's hard for them to recover any sort of life. Okay, once they get into recovery and they get to where they can stand on their own feet. That's the problem that I have. That's the problem that a lot of people are running into, and a lot of people are having issues with. Um, I'm reading comments over here. Same here, Mary Ellen. Thank you, Top Hat Guy. Thank you. Same here. I don't know where to start with all this. I honestly don't. I wish I did. Okay, because they're stepping out. Remember, addiction is their comfort zone. Okay. Um, that Cindy, that's Joseph. Okay, he had to do the same thing. Um, I mean, holy cannoli, freaking McDonald's won't even hire them. As soon as they see those charges, as soon as they run that background check and they see those drug charges, door slammed right then, right there. Okay. Um, that's my issue. Addiction is not like, I mean, we all know that they steal. Okay. And if you've never do that with your addict, consider yourself lucky. It will probably happen in the future. Okay. It probably will. If you're very lucky, they'll stay out of your stuff. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go through it. They're going to find whatever they want to find, and it's going to be gone. Okay. The nearest pawn shop they can get it to, or the nearest street broker, they're going to have it. And it's just going to be gone. Ask me how I know, because I do. Okay. That is awesome, CF. That is awesome. That is really awesome. I, I applaud him for that. I really, honestly do. I applaud him for that. Um, a lot of them are trying to rebuild. They're stepping out of their comfort zone, which is addiction, and they're they're trying to get their life back together. They're trying to get. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. Okay, they're trying to get their shit together. They're trying to reconnect with the families that they have pretty much destroyed, and to not even be able to support their kids or their little family or whatever, or even themselves. I have an issue with that. I do. I have an issue with that. I think that the system needs a complete overhaul. I think that there needs to be money set aside in order to overhaul the drug system, the drug um, judicial system. If we're going to allow all the things to come into the country and to be distributed and be sold freely in a lot of bigger cities, well, a lot of cities, period. If we're going to allow the things that is now being allowed, then you better turn things around as far as the judicial system, and you better get your shit together, because this is clogging the whole system up. Okay? You can walk into any courthouse around here, especially. Well, I'm not going to say especially, but I can speak for around here. You can walk into any courthouse on any day that they're having court, and I'm going to guess that 80 to 90% of the people that are there for drug charges. Some kind of drug charges, some kind of drug interaction with the people that, the powers that be. Okay? That is not uncommon. Not uncommon at all, especially not around here. And I will say that. So, how there are some employers that are like, Pshaw, little boy, I don't care. Okay? I don't care what your record is. I don't care what you've done in the past. You look like a hard worker. Come on in here. Let me pay you what you're worth. There are some people like that. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Most of the jobs that are available to people that are in these constraints, most of those jobs are independent employers. They are not big companies. Big companies, well, they kind of frown on these kind of things. And individual employers will have, they've got a little more wiggle room. They've got a little more empathy and compassion for people because they themselves may have been there. Who knows? They themselves may have, a loved one that has dealt with this, and they know that, hey, it was a time in their life. It's not who they are. It's a time in their life. And they're trying to pick up the pieces of what has been shattered for however many years. Okay? Let's see. Talk to today are waiting for Judgment Day in place. It's horrific how they end up back in there because lack of halfway houses available. Hey, it's the same way around here. It is a vicious cycle. It's a revolving door. They have one set of rules, okay, or fines. If you get, you know, it's like they have sections. If you get charged with or found guilty with anything in this section, it's a flat fee plus this plus this. If you get found guilty of anything in this section, then boom, you get charged this flat fee. And y'all, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, I told you guys about Joseph was a year into probation and he copped a new charge and had to go back to court, and he had paid all those probation fees for a year. And when he got that new charge and had to go back to court, hey, guess what? Probation started all over again. The money he had paid towards probation is just gone. It didn't roll over to the new 2 years. Okay? And I'm going to say this again. I am not condoning, because some people had an issue with the video that I did the other day about the breathalyzer in Joseph's vehicle. Okay? Saying that I was condoning his DUIs. No, I don't condone any DUI, whether it be by alcohol, drugs, I don't care what it is. If you are driving under the influence, you are wrong. Knock it off. You're putting lives at risk. Don't do it. Point blank, period. I did not condone when he did it. I did not know that he did it. I didn't know that he had a DUI until the day that he went to court. That's when I found out. You see, my son's an adult. He doesn't run and tell mama everything. Okay? So, no, I don't condone any of it. The sober house here was denied because the neighborhood said they didn't want such a place in their neighborhood. Everyone is for the help. Just don't come around me to get it. Exactly. Yeah. It'd bring the property values down. It would. It'd bring them down. Um, it's not working, Karen. It's really not. And that's the sad part. Um, did the addicts do wrong and get in this trouble? Yes. I am not, for the love of Pete, I am not sitting here saying that they don't need consequences, because that's not it at all. Okay? That's not it at all. But let's look at it. Okay? Let's look at things through their eyes for just a minute. Why would they want to get sober? Why would they want to go into recovery? Why would they want to do this when they're not going to employment, decent employment, to where they can pay their probation fees, their court costs, their breathalyzer that's got to be in their vehicle charges every month, and everything else that goes along with it? They still have to live. They still have to. I know this is probably stirring a hornet's nest, and you know what? So be it. Hey, Joy, so be it. I welcome it. And if you've never paid attention, those kids that the addicts abandoned that are now, the addicts are clean now, and they're working on the relationship with their kids. They deserve that. They deserve that opportunity. The kids deserve to see mom and dad, or mom or dad, doing well. They deserve that. And they deserve a shot at having that. Exactly, Joy. Exactly. It's so easy to get and so hard to get help for recovery. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A few years ago, back when, Joseph first started, um, oh, I am fixing to go off. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Thank you. Exactly, Jean. And most people that are suffering from addiction, they don't have anything. We all know what they spend their money on, okay? And their families, most of them are like me and you. I, I'm not saying I know your financial situation. Let me say that. Let me rephrase that. Most people are like me, and you know, they get by. They get by, and they don't have the thousands of dollars. There, a lot of people are putting their houses up for this, and they're losing their homes and all that. What about the difference between the easy rich addicts are treated and poor ones? The ones who have money, like celebrities, seem to get a free pass. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That brings me to another point. Totally off topic, but what happened to the Epstein list? Has heard any names that's been on that? It's supposed to a month or better ago. Has anybody heard that? If that had been me or you on that list, our names would have been all over social media a million times over. Do you can't tell me it wouldn't. Yes, Karen. Karen says that's right. They need consequences, but there has to be a better way to hold them accountable and still get the help to recover. Yes. Yes. They have to have consequences. They have to have consequences. They have to know, because they've lived in their own little world, their own little bubble for so long with no consequences whatsoever for their actions. Okay? Again, that's their comfort zone. That's what they're used to. That's what they know, because they control every second of every day. Okay? Laura says, I am new. How is your son doing and how old is he? He is 31, Laura, and we are getting ready to celebrate. What day is today? The 6th. We are getting ready to celebrate 8 months of sobriety in 4 days. So, thank you for asking. Glad to have you. Let's see. I agree that addicts in recovery deserve to have a relationship with their children, but how many chances should they get? It tears a kid up if the parent is in and out of their lives. That that depends on the kid, in my opinion. It depends on the kid, and it depends on the people that have what? No, I don't want to restart my computer. I don't know what my computer's doing. Depends on the people that has the child, and the situation. Okay, if the parent is not making effort to spend the time with the kids or child um, while they're in recovery. No effort's made on the other party's part. It's a give and take. It's not something that, I mean, with Joseph, I didn't just hand him Aiden and say, here you go. You're sober now, take him. I didn't do that. And he still doesn't have that. Aiden, I will tell y'all this. Aiden is with them right now. Aiden has been with them most of the day today. Um, and I made that decision. It's not an easy decision for me to make. Even today, with almost 8 months under his belt, that is not an easy decision. Okay? Um, but Aiden's been with them most of the day today. And I hope he's having the time of his life. Joseph is actively participating in Aiden's life. He wants it. So as long as he wants it, it'll be there for him. The duty list. He was drugging those people for his friends. Yep, he was. I want to see that list too. I want to know, why are they protecting them? Why are they hiding that? Again, if it was us, people who don't know anything about drugs have such strong views of addicts, but their opinions should not dictate the help no one cares about. That's done it. That's done it, so nothing gets done. Yes. Yes. If there was no such thing as BS judgment on non addiction dealing with people, you know, uh, this world would be a better place. And what is it the meme says? You don't know what anybody's going through, so just be kind. If that was put into practice and everybody abided by it, hey, might be onto something. But they don't. They don't. And they could give a shit less. They could. My question is, how many chances does the addict get to screw up their kid's life by ducking in and out? Again, it depends on the situation, Cindy. My plan is to Joseph. No, this is it. Okay. I will not stop loving him. I will stop supporting him. I just do not have to support him in the same household. I do not have to support him in the same county. I do not have to support him in any other way. I can support him from afar. I will always love him. That's an unconditional love coming from a mom. But I don't have to deal with that. My top priority is that child. Being a grandparent, raising a grandchild due to addiction, that's what my top priority should be and is. Always has been, always will be. So, yeah, 8 months. I know. There's a difference in helping with hard love and no help at all. Amen. Amen. Addiction is a beast. Glad to hear he's working on sobriety. Me too, Laura. Me too, because I am going to tell you something. 15 years of having a child in addiction. That is something nobody should that the old saying, what makes you stronger? Honey, I ought to be able to bench press a damn, SUV right now, dump truck. I think I'm good. Okay. I think I'm good. But he knows. And we've had that conversation. We've had many conversations here lately, um, that he's ready for. Hey Randall, what are you doing? Um, he's finally ready for us to sit down and start having these conversations and start, really digging deep. Okay, so oh, we'll see how that goes. Us as mothers can only live one day at a time. Pray day to day it never happens again. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I wish before people turn to drugs they would stop. Nobody starts. No, they are. No. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, I'll just tell you, I'm sleeping better. you know, my phone, I have never put my phone on vibrate or on silent at night. I can now, um, but before, it was right there in my grasp. There was no way, and I had it turned all the way up. There was no way that I was going to sleep with my phone on silent or on vibrate. I, if I didn't hear it, what if I missed that call? What if I missed my chance to say goodbye if something happened? You know, no matter what, that's still my child. Okay? It doesn't matter what he said, what what's happened between he and I. That's still my child. Bye, Karen. Love you. That's still my child. And then Aiden came along and my priorities shifted. You know, and here comes the rain again. Thank you, Fun Hack. Thank you. Yeah, exactly, Laura. Exactly. I did put out about the new drug that is out. I haven't had time to sit down. Paraflora, it's PFF, commonly referred to as China White. Parafluorofentanyl, PFF. Um, yeah, it's new. It's here. You are a loving, caring mama and a fabulous nana. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Randall, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I am. 19 years is awesome. I'm just proud of you, buddy. It is. It is. You're actually living and enjoying your life and not just surviving, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. You know, how do we teach young people to not try anything, no room for error? Well, we start talking to them, and we start being open and honest with them, in my opinion. This is my opinion only, Laura. We start young, okay? Um, we start having, even though it may be an awkward conversation, we start having those conversations. And as for me, uh, love you, CF. Bye, babe. Hi, Kathy. Uh, as for me raising Aiden, y'all know I don't hide things from him. Do I break it down to him on his level? Yes. Yes. He deserves that. And since he is the son of an addict, he does stand a higher chance at becoming an addict at some point in time in his young life. Have the conversations with them. Did Charlotte? Charlotte sent me something the other day, um, and it was a school here in this area. Okay, an elementary school, and a kid took a baggie of powder into the school, and I don't remember exactly. Charlotte, help me out here. I don't remember exactly what was in the baggie, but inside the baggie were trace amounts of drug powder. Yeah. I don't know if did they determine what was in the bag, Charlotte? Yeah, it was McMinn County. Y'all can look this up. Google it. Google it. Elementary school, y'all. Elementary school. They ain't waiting. They ain't waiting until these kids grow up. They're snatching them left and right. Okay? Addiction is snatching them up left and right. Elementary school. There's no age limit. You know, it's not like hands off addiction until they turn 18, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the way it works. Let's be real. A 14-year-old and her brother at 10 both died from fentanyl. Wow. That breaks my heart. That just breaks my heart. You know, where does kid get the baggie, for one? Did it belong to the parents? Are the parents having issues? Are the parents going to pay the price for this? What if this had not been seen and found and had been distributed throughout the school? What if little hands had been all up in the baggie and touched the residue? Who knows what that is? That that could have cleared out the whole school. Think about that. If only a tiny granule of fentanyl can kill, imagine what the residue inside of a freezer bag can do to littles. Okay? There you go. And we all know what xylazine is. Hey, hey, we've talked about it. It's trank. It's trank. Hello. Have the conversation. Start it early. Do it often. If your children are in public schools, have the conversations. If you don't, somebody else will, and their version of it all may not match up to what you want your child to know and understand and be able to do in that situation. Had this been in the kindergarten area, I mean, come on, little kindergarten kids, they are going to put their hands all up in that. Okay? They're curious. They're kids. They're curious. They want to know, ooh, what's this? They want to know. They don't understand that that could kill them. I didn't say it was a tiny amount of powder. I just said that there was residue in there. Local news reported ground up laxatives inside the baggie, but other substances were found. Mm-hmm. Again, littles. It's scary, y'all. It's scary. It used to be you could send your kids to school and know that they were taken care of. They were going to be safe. Everything was going to be okay. They were going to make it back home that afternoon. The only thing you might have to worry about is some crazy bus driver. Okay, that's not the way it is anymore. That's not the world we live in anymore. Unfortunately, Aiden and them are now home, and it's going to get loud in there in just a second. And he may come in here. I don't know. He may grace us with his presence. But you can't for the life of you send your child to school and know that it's going to be okay. Not anymore. That's not the world we live in, y'all. And that's freaking sad. It is so effing sad that, you know, we have to you almost have to be a helicopter mom, or in my case a helicopter nanny. Okay, almost have to be, because of all the cocoa for cocoa puff people. It's not, it is not the world that I raised my kids in. It is nowhere near, nowhere near. And that's scary. For me, that's scary. That's one of the reasons why we homeschool. One of many why we homeschool. What is it? What is the saying? Aren't you afraid that your child won't be social? Or that's the idea. If that's what is out there, that's the freaking idea. I don't want him socializing with that. There's been a war on drugs since the 80s, and the drugs are winning with a ton of casualties. Amen. Amen. That's the sad part. And I know everybody gets tired of hearing me say this, but I really don't care. Had we not left things wide freaking open for 4 years, I know it was bad before. I know. Please do not come at me. Okay? But over those 4 years, Trank, Rhino Trank, And the fentanyl business went stupid. It went aluminum, okay, to the point to where I don't know that we'll ever get it out of here. I honestly don't. I honestly don't. I've told you guys what my opinion is on what needs to be done in order to stop the flow, okay? But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna catch up on uh, some comments. Give me just a second. Uh, do, do, do. Oh, Joy, telling on their parents. Good. Uh, the outside world is the very reason I talk to my girls at a very, very young age. Yes. We just had a cop OD from touching money with powder on it here locally. Lord. Is he okay, Randall? I don't either, Joy. I don't like. I carry hand sanitizer everywhere with me, okay? Thank you, Captain Matthew. Thank you. Oh, uh, how did we really end up here? I mean, I'm sure we had an option or two that we didn't explore. Now the question is, what do we do now? I don't know, Ashley. I don't know. Has the problem gotten so big that there's really nothing we can do? Or are we sitting here with our fingers up our butts and being like, I don't know, you know. I'm in the UK. Crack and smack are bad here. Same here, baby. Same here. Oh, yes, Joy. They would have to shut everything down. Okay. Tell the countries. I don't need to mention them again. Tell the countries that are the two biggest ones that are involved in all this fake fentanyl and bullshit. Okay? Tell them here's the deal, pickle. You're gonna knock your shit off. You're not gonna do this anymore. You're not gonna send this here and have them make it and you get some of the profits and they get some of the profits and blah blah blah. We're not doing that anymore. Here's what we're gonna do. If this happens again, and we're gonna be watching, and if this happens again, taking out our citizens is no longer an option for their profit. If that was to happen. If. I understand if they want something, but you don't have to make it so readily available. Okay? I mean, holy shit, people. You can order it and it'll be mailed to you. Don't believe me? Look it up. You can get pretty much anything you want through the mail. And from what I have seen and what I understand, you know, FedEx and UPS have the same issue as USPS, does as far as checking. They catch it every now and then. There's links, there's websites to go and order whatever it is you need. My first move would be to go and pull all of the legal substitutes out of these smoke shops and convenience stores and places like that and get that out of here. Shut that whole industry down. Shut the whole freaking industry down. Uh, Watch people. There are videos, there's reels, there's TikToks, there's YouTube videos of these people that have been addicted to kratom and things like that. And they're now trying recovery, and they'll tell you it's legal heroin. Okay, that industry needs to be shut down completely. And then let's move on from there. If we want to eradicate addiction and we want to save our loved ones, uh, let's see. If I learned anything from the vid, it was how dirty people are. They had to reteach people how to wash their hands, something every 5 year old. Yep. Yep. Unfortunately, yes. The system is broken in so many places. It's like trying to fix a broken dam with a band aid. With a piece of darn bubblegum. Anybody watch Vegas Vacation where they go to the Hoover Dam and there's a leak and Clark W. Griswold tries to fix that leak with a piece of bubble gum and it blows a big bubble and eventually it pops? That's what it's like. That's what it's like. There you go, Joy. There you go. I'm not going to read that one. Yeah, they're trying real hard to keep them out. Real hard. It's patting their pockets, it's weighing them down. I heard recently that if only Americans knew drugs would kill more than all the wars combined. Yeah, that is probably. It's up to us to stop this industry. Yes. Drugs and prostitution are big money makers. Yes. Uh, if the government really saw addictions as an issue, that legal BS wouldn't be allowed. Yes. But see, that's the go around. The legal stuff is the go around. Okay. Um, that's their paper trail. And this is my opinion. Okay, my opinion. That's their paper trail. They're making money off both, but with the other, there can't be a paper trail. So that legal stuff is their paper trail. That explains how that money showed up in their accounts, that they can afford and the lifestyle that they live. Even though that stuff, that legal stuff, is still unaliving people left and right. Look up some of the videos from it. It's scary. It's scary. So I went in to a smoke shop the other day and I tried. I took my camera in there and I asked the owner who was behind the counter, I introduced myself and told him, I have a YouTube channel. Here's what we focus on, blah, blah, blah. Would you be willing to allow me to interview you and ask you some questions about some of the products you have in here? I was escorted out. I was escorted out and told that if I came back that the law would be called, all because I wanted to ask questions about the legal stuff that they had in there. Why so secretive? Why so uptight about it? I'll go back into another one and I'll try again. And I don't like to record people that don't know that I'm recording them, okay? But I can hold the camera down towards the floor until I get the okay. So you guys can hear what's being said. I just had questions. That's all. The only thing sadder is child trafficking is making more money than the dirt. Well, that's because they're using the kids. Because nobody looks at the kids, okay? It's easier to get stuff in, get stuff by, and use those kids as mules. Plus, they're recruiting a whole other generation in little kids. That easy. Let's see. Thank you, Laura. Glad you got to be here. Love you. Can't wait to get to know you better. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Does the American health system have a reasonably effective care for addicts when they're trying to let go of their addictions in terms of providing them with the right conditions? No. No, Anna, it does not. It is a cluster to try to get any help whatsoever for addiction recovery. Any. It's a money racket. It's a money racket. And that's sad to me. That is we've lost so many good people to addiction that really, really wanted. They wanted that beautiful life. Ashley, here as long as one person in the conversation knows that they're being recorded, and that would be me. So, um, I've seen pipes at gas stations for sale like it was a tub of peppermints. When I asked what it was, because it looks like something that wouldn't be legal, I was told that it was novelty items. Yeah, that. Uh, Doug, I am very well aware of that, honey. Very well aware of that. You need to watch my other videos, okay, and see just how well aware of it I am. I think everyone here in this community, in this group, I think we've got enough time under our belts to where we understand that. But thank you for that. Uh, Novelty items, my butt. Okay? No. I'm looking around. I'm trying. No, I can't use those because I'm looking for signs. Of course, I can't. What's within my reach, I can't use because it's from my pure romance days. Oh, let's see. These are novelty items. Okay, this pair of sunglasses, that's a novelty item. Synthetic legal drugs is not a novelty item. And that's what they are, synthetics, I'm guessing. Whether you're doing the illegal or the legal, you still don't know what you're putting in your body. I'm going to have it stuck to the wall right there one of these nights when I jump on here, okay? Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Oh, it should be a big old honker flashing red light. Uh, y'all, we're in trouble. We are in the middle of a war. We are. Yeah, addiction has almost taken over. I'm gonna say, I mean, there's a few that's not involved, but they can't sit there and say that they've never done anything. I'm gonna say that addiction has pretty much taken over a whole generation, Joseph's generation. It's close, okay? It's close, and now it's going after their kids' generation. That's scary. It's almost like Mary Ellen. I like her comment, her last comment here. I'm not sure it's tolerance, but it's like so much popped up all at once, and it's shocking. And I think that was meant to be. I think, uh, I think they threw everything at us all at once. If you remember what happened in 2020, I'm going to say this. This is my opinion. I don't care what anybody else's opinion is. This is mine. 2020, they were trying to take out my generation and older. That's what was supposed to happen. They talked about it. They were very open about it. Um, um, that didn't happen the way that they saw it happening, and so they had to pivot. They had to pivot, and they just threw all this out there and to see what would stick and um, what was powerful enough to get the job done. Okay, I think that's why things were left open for 4 years and all that was allowed to come on in here and be introduced. I think that's why it was allowed to, or it was placed in I think that's why sanctuary cities were started. That's where the first rounds of this, that's where it was introduced first, and they tested They tested the limits of this stuff. Yeah. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't care to share it. Y'all know I don't care. Okay. If I jump on and see that on your wall, I will roll right onto the floor. Do not tempt me. Okay. A generation, that's an understatement. It's been a thing since alcohol was created. Yes, Doug, I agree with you on that. But we have never seen the likes of what is out there being distributed to our loved ones like we are seeing right now. Okay? These are things that as soon as they are used can put you down just like that. Gone. No bringing you back. No bringing you back. A tiny, tiny granule the size of a pinhead can take out a lot. A lot. A lot of these addicts don't even stand a chance. They they're addicts. They need, okay, again, need their fixes. They don't think about what they're putting into their bodies. They don't have that luxury of stopping and thinking, maybe, I don't know. So that's that's where I'm going with this. Okay, get in our libraries to read to children while they dance their dance. We are becoming an evil nation. Baby girl, we are already there. Okay? Part of the problem is you see the same thing long enough over and over, you get desensitized to it, and before long it becomes normalized. Amen, sister. Amen. Well, you see, Nisi, you see this crazy weather pattern we're having, okay? I mean, again, explain to me how so far inland, East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, get decimated by a hurricane. Oh, uh, there is a thing called a one world order that wants us peons gone. Yep, yep. I'm supposed to be doing that, but yet you see them all the time. Hmm? What? What? We're not cloud seeding. We're not dicking with the weather. We're not messing with Mother Nature. You know. It was only what 700 degrees last summer. Burn up everybody's gardens. And now, right here at prime planting season, guess what? Guess what we're dealing with? Guess what we're dealing with? Flooding. Farmers can't plant if the ground is soaking wet and saturated, can they? Yeah, it's prime planting season. It's a commercial around here. Okay. Guess what that means? If the farmers can't grow it, then we can't eat it. Or if they do get a crop, it's going to be more expensive. Hello. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Uh, they could have stopped this crazy weather, but instead they created it and continue to do so. Continue. I hope everyone is prepared too, Mary Ellen. I do. I do. Um, if you're not paying attention to what's going on, you can call me a conspiracy theorist. You can call me whatever you want to. I pay attention to what I pay attention to. I see what I see. I don't listen to someone talking out both sides of their mouth. Okay, and you can tell who those people are. Everyone is saying a plant a garden because everything is fixing to get even more expensive. The critters only ever benefited from mine. Totally understand that, NK. Totally understand that. Um, I had some beautiful carrots out there, and the deer come and eat every one of them. So there's that. Uh, so beyond flooded the entire way. Yeah, exactly, Mary Ellen. And you know what? I think I've got a pretty good score going on as to what I have said and what's actually happened. I don't know, but I could have. If you haven't hit if you haven't yet hit that like button, be sure to subscribe to the channel because y'all, we have some pretty interesting conversations, and every I even put out a video or two. Believe it or not, there's actually things that goes on around here that's worth making a video for. Okay, so yes, do your research. That's okay, Nisi. That's okay. I totally understand. Things are weird around here too. Um, so I told you guys earlier that the power flickered in and out, and then it went off. Okay, it was weird, and they say, and Paps put it best. Okay, they said that there was a tree down. Okay, but our power flickered. I don't know, about 5 or 6 times, and he said, so the tree went, nope, oopsie, oh, maybe. And then it just said, oh, screw it, and just hit the line. Yeah. It was just weird. It was very weird. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Joey, because of what the conversation is, they do that every time. Every time. I've never done so much research until 2021. Um, I think mine really started in 2020. I will be growing more food this year than I have in the past years. Me too. Me too. I have my pool garden. I have it fully planted. Well, I have plants to put out there. Okay, they're not out there yet. And then we have the big um, in-ground garden, and I've started a whole bunch. So I plan on canning and freezing everything I can get my hands on this year. And y'all see, okay, got that. Got to do something. Paps and I were talking tonight. We went out. Aiden's been with his daddy. So Paps and I went out. We didn't have any electricity, couldn't cook, and he wanted Mexican food. So I let him have it. Okay, I let him have Mexican food. Yuck. I like it. He burnt me out on it. End of story. Okay, now I'm having to deal with it. But we were talking, sitting there having supper, and I told him, I said, I may take a in the garden next year. I don't know. And I said, we'll see how this year goes. We'll see how the economy goes. And then I'll decide. I said, if I decide to do that, then what we need, I will get from the Mennonite store or from the local farm that we found and go to. But if it's going to be like it was last year, and I'm fighting to get every single tomato I possibly can before it bakes out there on the vine, we're going to have company. Hang on. Yes. Hello, my little love.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I just wanted to say, repeat after me.
Okay.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Black.
Black.
What color is the grass?
Green.
I said repeat after me. I gotcha.
You did. You got me. You got me.
Hi.
Oh, who has ever heard of, and I'm going to butcher this word, hascaps, honeyberries? Anybody ever heard? Raise your hand. Went to the Mennonite. Of course you have. Went to the Mennonite
just
store.
Now. Basically, just raise your hand because you heard of it just now.
Look, Shauna says hi.
Hi.
Went to the Mennonite store Friday. Picked up 2 brown turkey fig trees, 2 different varieties of the hascaps or honeyberries, Beast and Beauty, because you have to have 2 to pollinate, and those 2 pollinate each other very well. Would you stop? What else was it? They had native elderberries, trees or whatever out there. Got 4 of those to add to my elderberries here. What else did we get? The figs, the hascaps.
Onions?
Yes, we got onions because I suck at germinating onions and growing onions, apparently. Yeah, there was something else. Oh, we got some more strawberry plants. I really want to.
Can I have your microphone?
No, I really want to ramp up my fruit, my little orchard, and my fruit growing. Can I help you with something?
I want to see how loud it is.
No, sir. They're hearing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let me know how those figs do.
Bye.
Thinking about getting some fig trees. The Mennonite store down here, Charlotte, they have pretty good size ones for $10. So they have different varieties. I got the brown turkey figs. So I'm kind of excited to get those out. Kind of excited. He is wound tighter than Dick's hat band. I'm telling you. Okay, telling you. You've heard of honeyberries? I've never heard of them. I've never seen them, but I'm excited. They look like torpedo shaped blueberries. Now, that's what they look like on Google. On the Google. Oh, I've heard but never saw any. I've not seen any. I just thought that was a neat little thing. Wanted just, I mean, $10. Do honeyberries taste like honey? I don't know. Night, Ashley. Love you. I'll be using wood ash in my garden this year because I used a great deal of it this year in the pellet stove, so I might as well. There you go. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I like that. Um, we're starting our compost. Y'all know we got 12 chickens up there, which, by the way, chickens are loving their little coop. They are finally out of my house. Hallelujah. They are loving it. They're nosy little girls. And we are starting our compost with the chicken poop. So there's that. There is that. We are working on getting their run done. We've got to do overhead with the chicken wire to make sure nothing can get in. And then they should be trained to go into their coop and stuff. And by that time, it's going to be cold here the next few days. Okay. Just saying, we're. I think this may be a mixture of blackberry and dogwood winter. Y'all know, if you don't know, East Tennessee has several. Well, around here we have several different small winters mixed in with our spring, and dogwood and blackberry are two of them. So I think this coming week is going to be a mixture of the two because dogwoods are. Yes, I'm from East Tennessee. Yes, I am right between, almost halfway between Knoxville and Chattanooga. So, what kind of chickens? If you had Wyandottes, and I can't remember the name of the other ones. I'd have to see. Um, Johnson City, whoop whoop, hey. Anyway, now I done forgot what I said. Oh, um, yeah, my chicken girls are doing good. I'm ready. Paps has already claimed he's he's getting the first egg. He is going to eat the first egg. So I'm ready for it. Bring on summer and all the things. Oh, cool, Barbara. That's nice to have. That is really nice to have. Oh, thank you, Marielle. Some of these comments just, I mean, it gives you a freaking headache sometimes. Lord, I can't. Quick draw McGraw, Murray Ellen. She is the best. There was something else I wanted to tell y'all, but darn if I can remember what it is. It's hell getting older. Okay. My senior moments are becoming more frequent. I can't remember what I was going to say. I just can't remember. Anyway, We're almost at an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to get off here. And um, why is that flashing? Hold on. Has anyone ever planted a Tums with their tomato plants? I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good. I've never tried it. Never tried it. What's it going to hurt? You know, I've heard cracking an egg and putting it in there too. My neighbors are not too thrilled with the smell. Ooh, I bet not. But it's got to be better. The field right across. Thank you, NK. Love you. The field right across the road from us. It used to be a hay field. They've built a house up there now. But every year my uncle owned a chicken farm, and they would bring loads of in and put all over that field for the hay. Oh my lord, it stunk so bad. It was awful. It was awful. Anyway, thank y'all for jumping on here. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy Sunday to spend with me and my craziness and my conspiracy theories and all that. Oh, I do remember what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Real quick, okay? And if you're watching the replay, you still have the option of putting your 2 cents worth in, okay? Everybody does. So, Paps and I were talking, and we have the midweek and the weekly chat and check-ins on Wednesdays and Sundays. Well, that also happens to be church nights, okay? And a lot of people cannot be here with us. They'd like to be, but they can't be here with us. Would you all want to move days for both? And what days would you all prefer to move it to? I'm not saying we're definitely moving it, but if I get enough input on this, then we'll look at it and we will see and all the things. Okay, that way it gives more people an opportunity to be here with us. We'll see how it works out. Okay, we'll see how it works out. But anyway, much love to each and every one of y'all. And if I don't see you before, I will definitely see you Wednesday. Have a good week, y'all. Be blessed. Be safe. Laugh. Okay? Laugh. And take care of yourself. You can't fill from an empty cup. I don't care if you're Superwoman. You can't fill from an empty cup. Okay? Love you guys.